Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Amanda, and I'm a librarian with Kirklees Libraries. So, welcome to today's session. So, we thought today would be a great day to do a session about healthy eating because it's World Health Day. So, World Health Day is celebrated every year on April the 7th, and every year the celebration has aimed to create an awareness of a specific health theme. And this year, the theme is all about building a fairer and healthier world for everyone. So if you want to get more information on World Health Day, you can have a look at the World Health Organization website, and there's lots of details about it on there. So today we are joined by community food worker Bev Juniper. And Bev is going to show us some exciting ways to encourage healthy eating in younger children. So Bev's going to show us how to make an easy, fun lunch, focusing on simple preparation techniques such as chopping and grating. And of course, because we're a library service, we're also going to have a look at some of the brilliant books that we've got available for you to share with younger children, featuring some of the themes used in the recipes. But just before we bring Bev in, I just want to say as well that if you are taking part in the 50 things to do before you're 5, this is a great session to watch to tie in with that, because number 47 in the 50 things is cooking. And of course, it's really easy to get children of all ages involved in the kitchen. So here we are, 50 things to do before you're 5. So you can find out more information about that just by Googling 50 things to do before you're 5, or if you go to kirklees.50thingstodo.org, you'll find out everything you need to know there. Okay, so that's enough from me for now. I think we'll get Bev in and we'll find out what she's going to make for us today. Here we are. Hi, Bev.
Hi everyone, thank you Amanda, thank you for inviting me today. I'm really excited to be here because you do know I love cooking and I'm missing going out at the moment doing cooking sessions in the community, and we usually do some sessions, don't we, in the libraries for the holidays. So today it's going to be from my home here in my kitchen, where you're probably sat in your home watching us, and so I'm in Dewsbury, so I'm really looking forward to it. We've got 3 different things to make, Amanda.
Excellent.
And they've all got a different theme. And I think you might have some books around the different themes. But the first thing that we're going to make is an owl rice cake.
Right, so fantastic.
I know you've got some books to show us, Amanda. Do you want me to do the rice cake first and then we'll have a look at the book?
Yeah, that's great. Do you want me to bring the ingredients up first, Bev, and then everybody?
Oh, yes, that'd be great.
Thank you. Yeah, because of course, if people are watching today, that's fantastic. But the session will also be available on catch up. So if I bring up the ingredients for the owl rice cake that Bev's going to make, we'll just leave it there for a couple of minutes. So anybody watching on catch up, it'll be easy for them to see what they need in order to be able to make the recipe. I have to say it looks really tasty, Bev, so I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I have. I don't know if you've noticed though, my poor owl doesn't have a beak. I forgot to put his beak on. So we're going to, because all birds do have beaks, don't they?
Yes, yeah.
So he has got some wings. So we've got some apple for wings, and we've got some bananas and blueberries for eyes. But you could make this with lots of different types of fruit. I'm just going to show you with these today, and then maybe whatever you've got, you can have a go at home. So, as you said, the ingredients we need are, and I've had to tie these up. These are my rice cakes, and these are just plain rice cakes. I'm going to have to open it like that because you have to keep, once you've opened these, you need to keep them sealed in a box or a bag. We've got these plain rice cakes, and that's going to be our owl. So I'm going to just do 2 to show you today. So I'm going to take 2 rice cakes, and I'm going to put on some chocolate spread. Now, I'm not going to use much chocolate spread. We just need a little bit to be able to stick the wings on, and also the feathers down the front. So we've got some chocolate spread. You could use some peanut butter if you wanted. You could use cream cheese. You could do any of those. So I've got that. I'm going to move these out of the way. So I've got these bowls out for later. So I've got the chocolate spread and I've got an apple, just a small apple I've got. I think this is a Braeburn apple, and that's going to be for the wings. I've got some blueberries. Now, you don't have to use blueberries. So for the eyes, you could use raisins, or you could just chop up some of the apple and put that on for the eyes as well. And I've got banana, because the banana is part of the eyes as well. So I've got 3 different types of fruit there. And then I've got some, this is breakfast cereal. Now I'm just going to use a little bit of this, and I'll just put a little bit in a dish. You only need probably about 6 or 7 for everybody, so I'll just pop some of this in here. See if I can pour these out. Oh, always lose those on the floor. Put that. So what else will I need? So I've got all the ingredients together, I think. And I will need a knife for chopping. So we're to chop the fruit. A knife for spreading as well. I hope I've got all my ingredients ready. I'm going to take the chocolate spread. Now this is something you can do at home. This is something that I've done sessions with at the library with the younger group. You know, the sort of 3 and 4 year olds will do it with help from a parent. Now I'm just going to use that much, about half a teaspoon on each. This is really good because if you can make this yourself, you can make your own snacks then. Put the lid back on. What I'm going to do is just spread the chocolate on the top. Now you may have some chocolate with it being Easter. You'll all be on your Easter holidays at the moment. You might have had some Easter eggs. Spread that round. Just enough to be able to stick the fruit on. Now this is the bit that I'm just going to chop the apple. So I'm just going to make a bridge with my fingers and chop down. If you've got a corer, you can use a corer, because a corer sort of push down and takes the middle bit out for you. But I haven't got one today, so I'm just going to chop the apple. And I'm just going to take the core out. Usually, oh, here it is. Got a little basket just for putting all the bits of waste in. It doesn't get all mixed up. So now I'm going to chop. Be really careful with this bit to make the 2 wings now. Down. Oh, I need 4 wings because I've got 2 birds to make. Now, we're making owls, but I don't know if you've noticed in my kitchen, I've hidden some other birds for you to find. So if you find them, just fill it in on the, on the comment box and let me know if you've seen them. They're not all owls, different birds for you to find. That. I've got my wings now, so I'm going to pop those on the side. We just need to pop those on there. It's got enough chocolate on. I've got the cereal here. Now I'm just wondering how many pieces I need. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for that one, and I need 8 for this one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got 8 for each one. going to start at the bottom because these are the feathers. So you can pop these on. Again, if you just press them down a little bit so that they stick. Just get a little bit wider there. So I'm going to just pop that one in there. You might arrange yours a bit better than me, but I've arranged mine on there. And the other one as well. So we'll have 2 owls. Those in. Now what else do we need? We've got wings and we've got feathers. So we need some eyes. So where's the banana go? What's the banana? Oh, it's here. It's hiding. Chop that down. Peel the banana. Now, I don't want all the banana, so I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to cut there. So I can save that bit for later. You know, when you peel banana, it all goes brown, doesn't it? So I'm going to have 2 eyes on each. So that's 1, 2. Oh, it's rolling away. 3. That's 4. Put that bit there. Eyes on. Down. So now we've got eyes. Coming up to doing the last bit now. So I need the blueberries. Now I've washed these blueberries because you need to wash these fruits before you use them. So I'm trying to find 2 eyeballs that look the same sort of size. I think those are about right. I'm going to use a little bit of the chocolate that was on the spoon. So they'll stick on. Now all the instructions, as Amanda said, I'm going to put them on the website. I've done lots of photographs for you, so step-by-step instructions on how to make them. So there we have our 2 owls. So Amanda, have you got some books on owls?
We have. Yeah, thank you for that. That was fab. They look very tasty indeed. Yes, so I will bring up a slide here. So this just showcases some of the books about owls or featuring owls that we've got at the moment in our collection of ebooks. So on here you can see that we've got a Winnie the Pooh book because, of course, one of Winnie the Pooh's best friends was Owl. We've also got a Harry Potter book on here because Harry Potter, of course, had a pet snowy owl called Hedwig. So that's a very famous owl featuring in the Harry Potter book. We've also got in the middle there one of the Zoe's Rescue Zoo series. Now, these are very popular in our libraries, all about a little girl who lives at her uncle's rescue zoo. And she loves living there because there's always something exciting going on. And the little girl, Zoe, has also got an interesting secret. She can actually talk to the animals. And in this particular book, Zoe makes friends with Ollie, a snowy owl, and she tries to come up with an exciting nighttime surprise to keep him happy, because he feels as though he's missing out because he's asleep during the day. So she tries to do a nice surprise for him at night. So that's a lovely book to read. And then down at the bottom there, we've got Little Owl's First Day. Now, this is a really lovely example of how books can be used to help children to cope with new and sometimes daunting experiences. So in this book, it's a big day for Little Owl because it's his first day at school. But he's quite nervous about it, though. He doesn't really want to go to school. He'd rather stay at home and have fun with his mum and his little baby brother. But this book is just all about how Owl copes with his first day at school and ends up enjoying it. And then next to that, we've got a non-fiction book, because of course we've got lots of lovely stories in our libraries, but we've also got some great information books as well. So I've thrown this one in here, this non-fiction book about birds. So if you wanted to find out some interesting information about owls and other birds, of course, this would be a really good book to choose. And then we've also got, last but not least, a book called An Owl Called Star. And this is all about a little girl and boy, Jasmine and Tom, who discover an injured barn owl in the woods, and they have to race to save his life. Okay, and just to remind you that if you want to borrow any books from our online collection, you can go to kirkleys.overdrive.com. and you'll find all the ebooks and e-audiobooks that we've got available there. Okay, there we go. Right, Bev, are we ready to make our next recipe?
Yes. Yeah, well, I don't know if anybody's seen any of the birds that I had from in my kitchen, but we've got a toucan here, and I've got a toucan here.
Ah, yeah.
And also, we've got a flamingo.
Oh, I like that.
So, well spotted if you spotted those. Right, so if we're making lunch, I thought the next thing we could make would be a rainbow wrap, Amanda.
Right, excellent.
Yeah, have you got the ingredients for us? Because I think we've got a sheet, haven't we?
Yeah, I have. I'll bring that up. There we go. So these are the ingredients that you will need if you want to make a rainbow wrap. So I'll just leave that there for a couple of seconds. So if anybody's watching on catch up, that's there for them just to get to grips with what they need to be able to make the rainbow wrap. It all looks very tasty ingredients, and I can imagine that it's going to be very colourful as well when it's finished. Should be super. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've got a picture of the wrap here, but it doesn't really show you. I've taken a picture of it when I've made it. But what you will find on the sheets, you probably can't see this very well, but online there is the photographs of how to do it step by step. So first of all, with any of the dishes that you're making, the best thing to do is get all the ingredients ready, just to check that you've got them as well, because it's nothing worse. You get halfway through it and you realise, I didn't have that, I haven't got that. With this wrap, though, it's called a rainbow wrap. So it's got lots of different coloured vegetables in it. I've chosen some of my favourite vegetables. You don't need a lot of vegetables for it, so you might be able to find something at home that you could use. So for this recipe, you will need, well, I've got some beetroot. Now, this is a bag of beetroot. So if you go to the supermarket, it's a vacuum pack, which means it doesn't need to be in the fridge until it's opened. So this is boiled beetroot. It's a bit different to the beetroot that you get in a jar that's got vinegar in. So this isn't as sharp. It doesn't have that really sharp taste. So we're going to use some beetroot. And the other vegetables we're going to use are, I've got a yellow pepper, because I thought we've got like a purple and a yellow. We're going to make a rainbow. And then I've got some carrots. So these are some of those wonky carrots. They all taste the same. But I've got some wonky carrots. I thought some orange would be good in my rainbow sandwich. And then I've got some, this is rocket. It's a type of lettuce. Now you can use spinach, or you can use any sort of green. So you could use, what could you use? You could use cucumber, or maybe if you had a little bit of green pepper, if you have that at home. So I'm just going to use 4 different fillings of vegetables. Then also, I've also got some tomatoes, because I thought they'd be nice. If there was something there you didn't like, you could use tomatoes instead. Well, I've chosen my favourite things. For yellow, I just thought as well you could use sweet corn if you wanted. So you've got to think of all the vegetables that you like, and you could put those in, or you could use it to try some different vegetables. You'll also need some cream cheese. So I've got some light cheese, but you could use any sort of cheese spread that you like. If you don't like cheese, or you don't eat cheese, What you could have is some hummus in it, and that's made out of chickpeas all mashed up, and that makes a tasty sandwich as well. And I've then got some wraps. So these are smaller wraps. You can see those very well. These are just the small wraps. Then also, I've got some really big wraps. So you can use either of these. And you could offer, if you want, when you've made this sandwich, you could make sandwiches for everybody. You could be an expert at making wraps. So what we need to do first of all is I have washed my pepper. But what I haven't done is, and I've touched all those again, is wash my hands. So I'm going to wash my hands. Now, because I'm in my kitchen at home, it's only a very small kitchen. And my sink is there, so I can't get to my sink. So I'm just going to wash my hands in a bowl I've got here. So don't forget to use some soap and water. And give your hands a good wash. I think we're washing our hands more at the moment anyway. Make sure your hands are nice and clean. And you've got a clean surface. Now I'm going to use a green mat because I usually use green chopping boards when I'm doing vegetables. So I've got a vegetable on that. So I'm going to use this green mat. And I've got a knife. What else do I need? I'll need a peeler because I'm going to peel the carrots. Sometimes you don't need to peel the carrots. You just need to give them a good scrub. But these are quite old carrots, so they need peeling. And, oh, I know what I need as well. I'll need a grater. So I've got a grater here. This is a big orange grater. So I'm going to use that. The carrots. And I've got some scissors because I'm going to need to open the beetroot. So I think, oh, I know one more thing. I need a spreading knife. So a knife for spreading, a table knife to spread the cream cheese on. So we're going to start with the pepper. Move that out of the way. Now, I've also got some of these wraps. It's a bit like greaseproof paper that you can use. So you could wrap it up and make it look like a very professional wrap. We'll see if we've got time to do that. So I'm going to just cut through the pepper. I'm only going to use half the pepper, the seeds inside. I'm going to take the seeds out. I'm going to chop this down. I've made a bridge and cut it down. Then I'm just going to put the seeds out. Put them in my bowl. Get rid of all the seeds. It won't hurt you, but it's best if you can remove all the seeds. You could actually grow some peppers. And if anybody's tried growing vegetables, lots of vegetables are easy to grow. Ones that I used to grow with my children was radishes, little red radishes. Might have some to show you if you're not sure what I mean. So now I'm just going to do some thin slices. Make sure your fingers are out of the way. I hope you can see this, yeah? Put some things in front of me I shouldn't have done. Move that out of the way first. And I'm going to pop these in my tomato dish. So we've got half a pepper there. So your fingers are well back. That's the pepper ready. I'm just going to do one carrot. So I'm just going to make, I think I make one big wrap and one small wrap. Now you can use a peeler. If you're not used to using a peeler, if you do it downwards like this, away from yourself, you just have to hold the carrot. The only thing is, when you're peeling carrots, all the peel goes everywhere. Yeah, carrot. There. Chop the ends off. Don't know if you've ever tried standing a carrot on a plate with some water on and seeing that sprout. That's quite a good one. So you need, as I say, you need a grater for this. If you haven't got a grater, you can just chop it up very finely. Or what you can do is, if you have a peeler, is just do some strips like that. Now, a lot of the groups where I'm working in the libraries, they like doing the peeling. So they quite like doing that. So you can just peel it so you get little thin strips. So you don't want really big pieces of carrot in your sandwich. It's easy to eat if it's either grated or it's steamed. Not sure what I've just dropped there, but that one there. That will be enough carrots. Well, I've actually got a carrot dish. Carrot dish. Carrot dish. Put the carrot in. So this is what you need to do. This is the preparation for when you're making the sandwich. So I've already washed the rocket. I've got the carrot. I've got the pepper. And now I just need some beetroot. There. Got some scissors. So I've already taken a little bit of water that was in here out. Open that up. This has got, I think it's got 4 big pieces of beetroot in. Now beetroot's something else you can grow in your garden. Beetroot there. And I'm just going to chop it in half. Because it's easier if you chop it when it's on the flat side of it. Just thin slice it down. You see it's quite soft to chop. Then I've just got some small pieces like that. Do the other half of it. See, that's the purple. We've got our orange, yellow, and green. Put that out of the way. Use those. Now, the next thing I need to do is I'm going to move this mat, because that's what I've prepared the vegetables on. Go back to this mat. I'm going to open one of the wraps. But I'll make a big wrap so that you can see it easier. Now, somewhere on these, here we are, there's like a little bit that you can open them so you can seal it up again. Really difficult to find. Now these are seeded wraps. I don't know if you can see they've got lots of different seeds in them. So I've got the wrap. Get out of the way so you can still see. And I'm going to take some of the cream cheese. This is a new one that I've got. Now the thing about cream cheese is you do need to eat it a few days after. You can leave it a couple of days in the fridge if you've not used it all. It does need eating up quite quickly. I'm going to put probably about a tablespoon. If you've got a tablespoon, that's a very big spoon. About half of one of those be enough. And spread it all over the wrap. So you need to get right to the edges if you can. Again, you'll spend a little bit more time doing it than I do. Yeah, so I've got all the cream cheese on. Now I'm going to put lines of the vegetables now. So I'm going to start with the green, I think. Green down. And then we've got the yellow pepper. Put a few pieces of each in. I'm going to put some carrot. And then I'm going to finish with some beetroot. And beetroot's got quite a sweet flavour if it hasn't got the vinegar in it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn it round so that the lines are going across now. Beetroot in there. What we need to do is fold the sides in and just gently roll the sandwich. Just tuck the vegetables in as you go past. And then just roll it. Now, usually I say just press it down a little bit gently. And what you can do is, as I said, you could serve it in one of these or some greaseproof paper. Make it look like you've got a really fancy sandwich. Got something printed on it. I think this is one. I think this one's got for. Oh, it says homemade, yummy, fresh, delicious. And this is what this is going to be. So, take a piece of greaseproof paper, put the wrap across that way, fold the sides in, and then it looks like you've had your sandwich made very professionally. When you come to open it, what you can do is you can either just eat it from the top, if you're out and about having your picnic, or if you're at home, you might want to cut it in half. So what I do is just slightly in half, and then what you've got is, I don't know if you can see that really very well, but then you've got a rainbow of vegetables, and that's why it's called rainbow wrap. So you might have a go at that. As I say, if you want to make a small one, what you can do, use one of these wraps. Again, I'm going to struggle to get into this, so I'm just going to chop the end off for now. Because those are really big wraps, really filling those. So you might just want a smaller wrap, so you can have a go. Again, just pop in the cream cheese on it. I need to find a plate now. This thing, don't I? Here we are. We've got a plate. That looks better. Put it on a plate, and you could actually give them some more salad with it if they wanted. Now you could put, if you didn't want just vegetables, you could put some tuna in, and that'd make a nice wrap, wouldn't it? I'm just going to show you with a small wrap now. Again, some cheese, spread all over. So you wipe your knife. So we've got the wrap with the cheese on, and I'm just going to pop the rest of the carrot, the purple beetroot, some of the yellow pepper, just a little bit of the green rocket. So we need to fold the sides up. I have to think every time which way I do it. So fold the sides up and roll it like you did with the big one. Just all the way over. Then you make a small wrap, which is just the right size to go in your lunchbox. So there we are. Again, we've got a rainbow. So I'm going to pop that back in there, wrap it up. Then you could pop it in your lunchbox. You're going on a picnic, you could take it with you. Then it's already wrapped up. So there we are. That's our rainbow wrap, Amanda.
Oh, thanks, Bev. That was absolutely brilliant. I loved it when you laid all the ingredients out on the wrap. It just looks so pretty, so colourful. It's lovely. Yeah, thank you.
And it smells really nice as well, because it smells all the vegetables. It's really good.
Yeah, I can imagine. I have to say, actually, we've done some sessions actually in libraries together, haven't we, when we've been opened, and you've definitely inspired me to put sort of more colourful ingredients into my sandwiches. I know since working with you, I've definitely got a thing for peppers now. I always try and throw some peppers into my salads and
Oh, yeah.
sandwiches. So yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, good stuff. Right, shall we have a look at one or two books with a rainbow theme then, while you
Well,
just
I
sort
get ready
yourself
for the
out there?
next one.
Yep, cool. Right, so here we are then. We've got some books here. So all the books that we're mentioning today are available in our online collection of ebooks. Our libraries at the moment are, of course, closed, but all being well, we'll be opening up again next week. So some of these books you should be able to get from our libraries as well. But today we just thought we'd concentrate on what we've got in our ebook collection. So actually, we've got some really, really lovely rainbow-themed books at the moment, because the rainbow has, of course, been a symbol of hope really over this last year. So there's some really great picture books inspired by the COVID pandemic. So one on here, Thank You by Joseph Coelho, is a lovely book, and it's a story celebrating our key workers and the NHS. And it's all about a little boy who kind of goes around really saying thank you to lots of people for lots of different things. But towards the end of the book, he decides to say one huge thank you to help the whole community feel better. So he stands on his tiptoes and brings his arms down like a huge rainbow in order to cheer everybody up. So that's a really lovely book. Next to that, we've got The World Made a Rainbow. And this is another lovely story with a hopeful message of staying connected to the people that we love. And the author here, Michelle Robinson, wanted to find a way to help young children to sort of navigate their way through all the complex emotions that have been caused by sort of the COVID pandemic and lockdowns. So this is a really sort of lovely, hopeful story inspired by all the rainbows that children across the world have been creating and displaying in their windows. And then on here, we've also got Rain Before Rainbows. This is a beautifully illustrated picture book. And again, it's got a real message of hope at the heart of it. And it's a real positive message for anybody who's ever gone through a tough time. It's all about a girl and her companion who's a fox, and they travel together from a place of loss and despair through uncertain times towards the hope of colour, light and life. Okay, so I'm trying not to tell you too much about the books. I just want to give you a little taste and hopefully inspire you to borrow them from our libraries. On the bottom row then, we've got Black is a Rainbow Colour. And this is by author Angela Joy. And it's a really loving tribute to all the ways that black is beautiful. It's also described as a lovely celebration of Black culture and an excellent first Black history book for young children. Next to that, we've got How the Crayons Saved the Rainbow. And this is a lovely story which teaches the importance of teamwork and perseverance. And it's about 7 crayons. They've each got their own unique personality, and it's all about their desire to see the world in colour. A lovely story about how they help to fix the relationship between the sun and the cloud, and the crayons end up drawing rainbows all over town. And then last but not least, we've got Fern the Green Fairy. So this is one of the books from the Rainbow Fairies series, and these have been very popular in our libraries for a long time. This is just one book from a whole series of these books that have been enjoyed by many children. So in this particular one, it's 2 girls, Rachel and Kirsty. They search a secret garden and a magical maze to try and find Fern the Green Fairy. So there we have it, lots of lovely books from our ebook collection, all with a rainbow theme. So I hope you'll borrow some of those and enjoy them. All right, we'll go back to Bev, see if she's ready to make our final piece of the jigsaw for our healthy lunch. What have we got next, Bev?
Well, I thought we'd do again, it's something that you could take on a picnic. It's a pudding, but it's an alien pudding. Because a
Oh.
couple of years ago, I did some summer holiday activities, and it was all around space and travel. And we did wonder if we might meet some aliens if we went somewhere else. So we designed an alien pudding. So I think you've got the ingredients to show us, Amanda, have you?
Yeah, I have. I'll bring that up, and again, I'll just leave it there for a couple of seconds. So if anybody's watching or watching on catch up, it just gives them a little moment to be able to take in what they need to be able to make the alien pudding. Yeah, just having a read of it myself. It all sounds very tasty. Some of my favourite things in there: marshmallows. Yeah, lovely. Very good. I'm liking the sound of this.
Very good. Yes. Well, if you like sweet things, I thought with it being sort of Easter time, I know we've just gone past the Easter weekend, but I thought, well, we'll do some chocolate biscuits just in case you haven't had enough chocolate. I don't know, Amanda. You might have had an Easter egg.
Oh,
So,
I've had one or two. Yeah.
have you? Oh, well. If you don't want to use chocolate biscuits, you can use ginger biscuits either, any biscuits. And in fact, it's quite good for if you've got some broken biscuits at the bottom of your biscuit tin, if you have a biscuit tin, you can use those, you can collect them in a bag, and then when you've got enough, you can make this pudding, you see. So I'll show you what ingredients you need that I've got. So I've got a pot of yogurt. This is just plain yogurt. But what you can use, if you haven't got any plain yogurt, if you'd rather use one of these sort of pots of yogurt, I think this one's strawberry yogurt. You could use that one instead. This one it has got fruit in, and it has got a little bit of sugar in it, whereas this one hasn't got any sugar in it. And because we're having the biscuits, they're quite sweet. You probably don't need that with sugar in. So I've got the yogurt, and I've made jelly. Now, again, if you haven't got any jelly, wibbly wobbly, I should have wibbly wobbly on a plate. I've made a strawberry jelly. Again, you could use a pot of ready-made jelly if you wanted. But I find you've just got to remember to do this the day before. That's the thing. If you know we're going to do it. So we've got the jelly. What else I need? It was one of those jellies just in a little packet like that. I've got the chocolate biscuits. So I've got chocolate balls and creams. And I think for this recipe we need, I was going to make, I think, 4. So if you think 2 biscuits for each person, for each pot. So I'll make 2. I'll make one for you, Amanda. So I'm going to use 4 biscuits. So I'll just pop those in there. Then, because we're doing about fruit and vegetables, I thought we'd do some fruit in it. Now, on the recipe sheet, I did put a tin of mandarin oranges, but it doesn't really matter what type of fruit you use. So you could use tinned fruit, so you could use tinned mandarins or tinned pears. I've got a little pot of like a fruit cocktail. Sort of pot you might take, for your lunch. Got one of those. You could use one of those, or if you wanted, you could use a satsuma or a small citrus fruit. So anything like a mandarin, or I think these are called easy peel oranges, and they are easy peel as well. That. So I've got my mandarin orange there ready. What else do I need? Now, if you see, my alien has eyes. So I'm using straws. So I've got these paper straws or plastic straws, whatever you've got, and I've cut one of them in half. So that makes stick the eyes on. So I've got that ready. And also I need some marshmallows. Now you can use these sort of off lumps or anything like that. I'm going to have 2 pink eyes, I think. So I'm going to have 2 of those in pink and 2 in white. I'm making one for Amanda. Yeah. The other thing that you will need for the eyes. Now I've got some little icing eyes I bought ready-made, but you don't need those. They're like white icing, and they're just in the supermarkets. You could make your own out of some white icing, a little bit of black, or if you've got some of those icing pens, or you could use a grape. You could cut the grape in half, and I'll show you that in a bit. Or if you've got some, these are milk chocolate chips, you know, the ones that go in biscuits. So you could use those either, just for this little eye bit there. And oh, I think that might be all the ingredients. Just look quite a lot of ingredients, but it might be things that you've got at home. You may have some biscuits, you may have some yogurt and some fruit, and that's all you need really. We're making it into a special pudding today by calling it an alien pudding, but you could just go with the yogurt, fruit, and the biscuits. Now, the equipment you need, the utensils, you'll need a plastic bag. Now, usually I keep my bread bags and use those. You know, the ones you get your sliced loaves in. So you can use one of those. I didn't have one today when I looked. So I'm going to put the biscuits in there. And I'm going to break the biscuits up. Now, this is going to be the noisy bit. This is the bit that most children like doing. There's different ways of breaking it up. I've got a rolling pin to do that. And the other thing that I'm going to need is some glasses. So I've got some small tumblers. If you haven't got any of those, you can make it in a pot. So something like this, pot like that. You could just make it in a dish if you wanted. Or here I've got some paper cups. Could use a paper cup as well. If you make it in a glass, you can see all the different layers, because what we're going to do is break up the biscuits and then put a layer of yogurt, a layer of fruit, a layer of jelly, and then repeat it again. So we do different layers on top of each other. So I'm going to start by breaking these biscuits up. Now, I've got a small rolling pin. And what you have to do is try and break it up a little bit first. If you haven't got a rolling pin, you can use tin of baked beans will do, anything like that. Just be really careful with your fingers when you're banging. The other thing about these bags as well, if you're not careful, if you bang on the same bit too much, you do end up with holes in, as we usually find out when we're working and doing this. I'm going to chop this, break this up to make it quite small. If you don't have biscuits, what you could use is if you've got some small buns or something like that, or some cake that's maybe a little bit dry, you could use that up. But all I've done is chop that up. They're chopped. Smashed, isn't it, really? Smashed up. Then, now I need to put that in a dish as well. So this is the difficult bit, because trying to get it from here into the dish without getting it all over the table. I'll try my best. Yep. Done that. Because if you're like me, when you've finished, you've got to wash everything up. It's part of what you have to do when you do cooking. Or you get somebody to help you tidy up. Try and be tidy as you go along. So there we've got our chocolate all smashed up. We've got some yogurt. I think a spoonful of yogurt in the dish. These, a little stir first. I might need, because I'm going to make two of these, I might need a couple of spoonfuls. Again, the size of this will depend on how much you want to eat and how big you are. So you might only want to make a small pot. If you make it, it will be all right the next day as long as it's kept in the fridge. You just need to keep it in the fridge. It'll keep till the next day, but it's better made fresh, really. Oh, I forgot, I've got some hundreds and thousands as well, because I might put some of those on the top. if you've got any, let me see what I've got. I've got some little Easter eggs, little chocolate Easter eggs. I thought, well, I could actually chop them up and put them on the top, couldn't I? That'd be nice. I could use these grey, because that's the other thing that if you don't want to use the marshmallows, you can just use grapes for eyes. I'll chop this in half. I'll make one with grapes and I'll make one with the mallows. Stick that one in there. So I've got those ready. The scissors. And then these are the other eyes that I'm going to make. So I've got some green straws. I've got the blue ones with the grapes on. I'm going to use the green ones with the mallows on. I use a white one. I'm going to stick it down the side like that. Push that on. I'm going to have 2 eyes. Now you could have 3 eyes, couldn't you, for your alien? In fact, I might do another one with 3 eyes in. Now, don't forget that you do need to cut grapes in half. I do it normally. I do it for most people, so it might be better if before you pop these on, you did cut them in half, just in case somebody sort of swallowed them. It just needs to be half that size. So right, so where are we going now? So we've got our glasses. I've got my ingredients. I'm not going to use that fruit. I'm going to use some mandarin oranges. It's got lots of segments of oranges here to use. Pull those apart. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get a spoon and I'm going to start with the biscuit at the bottom. Full of that in there. And I'm going to add 3 bits of orange each and some jelly. It's a bit wibbly wobbly. Do it like this, I think. And then this is strawberry jelly. You could have used orange jelly and then it'd be like a chocolate orange. Orange and chocolate go really well together as flavours. We need yogurt in. These are really big portions, aren't they? You might want to use a smaller portion than this. Again, you find that it depends on the size of the glass that you're using. So you can use the smaller glass. In fact, I'll show you. I've got some smaller glasses. You can use a narrower glass, but it's still tall. So you can use something that size to make it a little bit smaller because it's huge as this. I don't think I could eat all this. Finish off that with the orange. If you want, you could add, because I've got some yogurt left. I'm going to just pop a little bit of yogurt on top. Waste that. Got a little bit of orange there as well. Stick that in there. This is my grape alien. In fact, I will cut those. I'll cut those in half now because it's that size. Still not the right way. This way. So you can take your grape and just cut it in half long ways. Make it safer. There. Oh. This one. Those grapes look a bit safer now. So we've got one alien there. And this other alien, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these eyes. Now, again, you need to stick these on with something. So I'm going to stick them on with some of the yogurt. A little bit of the yogurt on. Stick the eye on. Oh, there. Two eyes in here. You could use a little bit of icing just on these if you wanted. Stand up. And then I'm just going to put a little sprinkle. Spoon. Sprinkle of hundreds and thousands. Then you could grate a little bit of chocolate on if you got some chocolate. Now these are kind of like a little bit of a treat because we've got lots of different things in. We've just not got the fruit in. So we've got the sweets with it as well. So this would be something that you would have as a treat. I thought for our book session today, it was quite a nice thing to make. Because it has got jelly, it has got fruit, it's got the yogurt on, and obviously the mandarin oranges and grapes on that one. And this one, I hope the eyes have stayed on all right. So there's our pudding. So today we've done quite a lot. I'm going to move that out of the way. I'm going to show you what we've made. Then neat. So I'll give this a wipe. Made a bit of a mess there. Yeah. On there. Move these out of the way. Don't forget, all the instructions are on the library page. I've made a bit of a mess there, haven't I? So these are our things that we've made today for you to try. There's my little wrap there. So if you remember, we did the owls, we've done the rainbow wraps, and we've made some aliens. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I don't know if Amanda, have you done the books that we've got with aliens and space?
Yeah, I have, Bev. Yeah, thank you for that. I love the alien puddings. I liked your advice about cutting the grapes in half. I think that's very sensible. But I think the puddings are just a fabulous example of how you can make food fun for younger children and you know, do things on a theme that they'll enjoy. So that's fabulous. Thank you. Yeah. So we've just got some books to showcase then on an alien theme. So I'll bring those up, talk a little bit about those. And then I'll come back to you, Bev, if that's okay.
Thank you.
So here we have then some of the books that we have available on our e-catalogue. And we've actually also got some audio books on here as well. So don't forget, if you don't fancy reading a book, you've also got the option to borrow an audio book and listen to a story being read to you. So the audio books on here, we've got Aliens Stink and Baby Aliens Got My Teacher. So there's two fabulous audio books on an alien theme. We've also got on here Aliens Love Underpants. Now this has been a favourite of ours in libraries for a long time. It's a super book. It's got some rhyming text in it and it's great fun. Aliens love underpants in every shape and size, but there are no underpants in space, so the aliens have to come to Earth to steal ours. And then next to that, we've got Lights on Cotton Rock. Now, this is a beautifully illustrated picture book. The illustrations are done by David Litchfield, and he has also written a book called The Bear and the Piano, amongst others, and he has actually appeared on one of our Library Adventures live sessions. So if you'd like to find out more about David, you could always watch the Library Adventures live session on Catch Up, and I'll tell you how to do that in a second through our website. But this is a lovely storybook all about Heather, a little girl who wants to go to outer space. And when a spaceship lands at Cotton Rock, it seems that all her dreams have come true. And then we've also got The Day That Aliens Nearly Ate Our Brains. And this is about two best friends, Freddie and Sal, who accidentally intercept a message from Alan, who is a grumpy, brain-munching alien from outer space. Very soon, the police and even presidents from around the world are getting involved in the adventure, and Freddie is about to become the most famous kid on planet Earth, but for all the wrong reasons. So a super exciting alien-themed adventure there. And then the last book I've put on here is another non-fiction book, and it's called The Alien Drawing Book. So if you're really into aliens and you like drawing as well, this is a book for you, because it gives you hints and tips on how to draw and illustrate quirky aliens from out of this world. So there's some really easy to follow steps about how to draw your own Martians, and then there's some more instructions, a bit more challenging instructions to make them into absolute masterpieces. So there we go. That's all our alien themed books there. So I'll just remind you that if you've seen any books or audio books today that you fancy having a look at, you can get those on kirkleys.overdrive.com. And if you want to find out any more about the Library Adventures live sessions that I mentioned, or indeed any other sessions that we've done in our libraries, you can have a look at our website, which is www.kirkleyslibraries.co.uk. And we'll also put all the information about Bev's session on there as well. So if you want to have another look at the recipes that she's made, and indeed watch this session on catch up, you can find information about that on kirkleyslibraries.co.uk as well. Yeah, so I think that's about it. I think we've done quite well. We've kept time there, Bev.
Thank you.
We've got in everything that we wanted to talk about, haven't we? Yeah. So shall we say goodbye and see everybody next time?
Yes, and I hope they all enjoy doing their cooking, having a go.
Yeah, so do I. Oh, actually, that's one thing that we could mention. If anybody has watched and they've been inspired to make any of the things that Bev has shown us today, I mean, it would be fabulous if people did that. If you could take a photograph of it, take a photograph of the things that you've made, and you can email it into us. We'll use the email address that we use for Library Adventures Live, which is lal@kirkleys.gov.uk. Yes, so if any children and families make some of the things that they've seen today, take a photograph of it, email it into us, and we'll put those on our website as well. That would be awesome.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
thank you very much, and I'll see you soon then, Amanda.
Yeah. Well, you're more than welcome, Bev, and thank you ever so much as well. It's always a pleasure to work with you and to see you. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay,
Bye.
take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.